profiling. Woo!
What's up? It's Ross, and I'm back with another cool little video. Well, I hope anyway. I don't do videos like this very often. Usually I just do collection updates and the occasional review. But this is partially inspired by what my homie Myke C-Town's doing with his musical journey. I want to focus on the music that I listened to and discovered in high school. Yeah. Thought it'd be an interesting video for y'all to get a little bit of insight of where I was in high school. I was in high school in the early 2000s, a bit younger than Mike and a couple of the other YouTube vinyl community, but I discovered a lot of the same stuff that Mike did, just a little bit later. Yeah, expect to see a lot of new metal because went to high school in the early 2000s. You probably hear my dog running around. She's being weird as fuck. Okay, playing in the background. It's an Arkansas band called After the Tragedy. Definitely discovered them in high school. This band actually handed me a demo in the parking lot of a Hastings, I believe. And I recently got this from a member of the band years later. Really cool stuff. Yeah, but if you can hear it, that's what's playing in the background. Big part of my musical journey growing up, of course, was the radio, and that's where I got shit like this. Metallica's Black Album was constantly being played on the radio, and also my first exposure to Nirvana came from the radio. Of course, my musical taste would grow, and I would learn that that was the least of the lesser Metallica, but it was my first Metallica, so I still hold it dear. That's why I own it on multiple formats. Kicking off my musical journey, this is not in the order that I discovered them. I did this in order of when the albums were released because I thought it'd be simpler that way. Starting off, we jump back to 1997. I discovered this probably in 2000, 2001, somewhere around there, but Deftones Around the Fur, definitely one of my first new albums. I was attracted to this album based off the cover alone. It was interesting. It wasn't like stuff I was seeing around that time. And tracks like My Own Summer, that was an anthem for me and my friends. Labia, Mascara, Be Quiet and Drive, another anthem. Ricketts was one of those fucking mosh around the bedroom with your homies. Just everything about this was fucking phenomenal. I just recently got this. I think I picked it up last year. Yeah, it's a phenomenal record. Still probably my favorite Deftones album. Just love everything about it. But yeah, it was definitely a big stepping stone in my musical journey. And although Deftones does not sound like this anymore, I love new Deftones. N-E-W, not N-U. Jumping ahead to 1999, I discovered Incubus. I'm a big fan of all of Incubus's catalog. I have most of it. Some on CD, some on vinyl. But this was definitely my first. Make Yourself. Start buying their old stuff, Science, shit like that. Really love Morning View too, but Make Yourself is definitely my first. Privilege, Stellar, Drive, Pardon Me, of course, another song that was always on the fucking radio. Incubus definitely opened my eyes to a more radio-friendly alt-rock kind of vibe. Kept me from being so closed-minded and listening to just strictly metal. Because at that time I thought I was listening to the heaviest shit on the planet, and I was sorely mistaken. But yeah, Incubus definitely opened up a new pathway for me. Sorry, I'm just really fucking thirsty today. But I'm really glad that I found Incubus. I'm sure I catch a lot of flack on this channel because I'm not in metal. But Incubus was a big stepping stone to me listening to Cult Leader and Black Dahlia Murder and shit like that. So everybody has their beginnings. And to prove that I am metal, also in 1999 I was released this Cradle of Filth, From the Cradle to Enslave. Again, didn't hear this till probably 2001, 2002, but this was the first Cradle of Filth that I ever heard. My first song actually being the Death Comes Ripping Misfits cover. After that, From the Cradle to Enslave, Of Dark Blood and Fucking. This is a fantastic fucking EP. This is what got me into Cradle of Filth, and I was a huge fan for years. They've kind of fallen off for me nowadays, but for the most part, their catalog's still pretty solid. But yeah, released same year as Incubus. I probably discovered this close to the same time I was getting into Incubus. I was also getting to Linkin Park at that time. The early 2000s were a really complicated time for young, prepubescent people. But yeah, Cradle of Filth definitely opened up a new gateway for me. Introduced me to a little more black metal that at the time I didn't know existed. But it really, really fucked with my head and the imagery. And I still think of the video for Amphetamine, which is still one of my favorite Cradle of Filth songs, and that video just fucks me up. It has nothing to do with this release. I don't own that album. But still, my early Cradle of Filth, those are memories that I have. Alright, how about we jump forward to 2000 when we get... I always felt more radio rock, but a lot of people call them new metal, and I understand. I feel the new metal. When you start your album with a line, my name's Kobe Dick, Mr. Dick if you're nasty. Papa Roach, Infest. Yeah, 100% love this album. Still do. Still listen to it quite often. It's fun. It's nostalgic, and it hits me. This is a 2017 repress. Got this last year for Christmas. But everything about this album is pure nostalgia, and I love every fucking bit of it. Can you hear my fucking dogs? They're just bouncing on my bed. It's fucking ridiculous. Stop it! Do you have to be that loud? You're interrupting me talking to my viewers. Shut up. I love you. Like I was saying, of course, Last Resort, on the radio all the time, Broken Home. Oh man, so many fucking good songs. Blood Brothers, 28 and Insects, Dead Cell. Dead Cell! Infest, the first track with those infamous opening lines. Never Enough is a fantastic song. I'm not even going to front, I still love this Papa Roach album. They kind of lost me with Love, Hate, Tragedy and everything after that. She Loves Me Not's an okay song, but the rest of that album I could really give a fuck. This Is Where It's At, debut. 2000, which that's 18 years ago now. Fuck, I'm getting old. Yeah, I probably got into this when it was still relatively new. Great fucking album. I'm not gonna front. Jumping forward a year to 2001, and we get this beauty. This is Iowa by Slipknot. I thought about putting the self-titled in this video, but I always held closer to Iowa than the self-titled. More structured, more heavy, more straightforward. Better song structure, definitely. This is a big jump from the self-titled, and the song Everything Ends, another fucking anthem that me and my friends would fucking sing like crazy. Heretic anthem, if it's 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6. That was my shit. We all got left behind. Oh man, I'm probably gonna have to put this on after this video. It's a double LP. Probably one of the rarest records I have in my collection. These don't pop up very often, and when they do, they're outrageous. But I actually got this given to me by a homie because he loves me. and I have awesome friends. It's wear and dings, but it was never actually opened until it came to me. Still in the original shrink wrap. Clearly a promo copy because of the clipped ear. But yeah, Slipknot, Iowa, definitely a stepping stone for me. Like I said, I do love the self-titled, but this one just really hit home a lot more for me. It makes my face light up. Great fucking album. I told you expect a lot of new metal because it was the 2000s. Jumping forward to 2002, I bought this album new. I remember buying this album new. I remember buying this album, a 40 Below Summer album, and the self-titled Alexis on Fire album in the same day from the Hastings that after the tragedy gave me this CD in. This is Atreyu with Suicide Notes and Butterfly Kisses. Wow. This album has stuck with me for a long fucking time. I remember buying this album and showing my friends, and they fucking hated it. They couldn't stand it. But I never gave up on it. Saw this band live 3 times in 2 years, I think. Something like that. This is a fucking banger of an album. Just listened to it last week, and it is so damn good. Front to back, Song for the Optimist to Lip Gloss and Black. Vampire's Lament. Ain't Love Grand is a fucking jam. Deanne the Arsonist. I love, this fucking album. This is a reissue from a couple years ago. Nice pink. It goes perfectly with the album. Love everything about it. Can't fucking hype it up enough. Don't know why you don't mean to hype it up enough. But yeah, you all know fucking Atreyu. The Curse I also love, but I do not own a physical copy of it. I'm fucking dying to get my hands on a LP copy of The Curse, just because I need it in my life. They also lost me for a couple years, but the last thing they did, Long Live, was actually pretty good. Not bad at all. Atreyu. Suicide Notes and Butterfly Kisses. Before I hop ahead a couple years, I also discovered pop punk in high school because it was around. And Newfound Glory and The Offspring, I was definitely big fans of. Still listen to these albums quite a bit. Offspring, I can tell you, I remember exactly when I discovered The Offspring. I was watching Idle Hands because they were playing a Ramones cover at the school dance. And fucking just, it clicked with me. This album is fantastic. Sticks and Stones by Newfound Glory, also a fantastic fucking album. Yeah. Still listen to these on the regular. No front, no bullshit. Alright, around 2003, 2004, things started getting a little different, a little weird for me. I started trying to leave a lot of this stuff behind and get into new shit. And that's when I discovered post-hardcore and started getting into real screamo and more experimental and aggressive stuff. And in 2003, the release From Mom to Ashes with The Fiction We Live. This is still a top 10 album of all time for me. This is a reissue from 2013. And I wanted this album forever since I started collecting vinyl. And I was watching it on Discogs and never saw a copy go for less than $100. It really bummed me out. Then a friend pointed me towards the Workhorse Music Group's merch page, which they were selling them. And I think with shipping and all, I got this for like $16. And it's one of the best decisions I ever made. After Dinner Payback, Lilacs and Lolita, No Trivia, Milligram Smile, I could go through every fucking song on this album and love every fucking bit. Audible Monologue, Alive Out of Habit, Every Reason To. It is so fucking good, front to back. Bands like this definitely paved the way for me discovering bands like Pianos Become the Teeth and Touche Amore and shit like that. And so thrilled because I love those fucking bands and they really are a touchstone for me now. So without From Mom to Ashes, I never would have got into those bands. So 2003, From Mom to Ashes, The Fiction We Live. God, I love that fucking album. And then a year later, I think I also bought this new. This is from First to Last with Dear Diary, My Teen Angst Has a Body Count. This album took me a little longer to get into. For a while, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 tracks that I listened to a lot, and the rest of them I was kind of they're okay. But Note to Self, Emily, Kiss Me I'm Contagious, and Ride the Wings of Pestilence were definitely bangers for me. This is a 2016, 2017 repress, I don't remember. Relatively new. Originally released in 2004, of course, on Epitaph Records. Featuring the now famous dubstep artist Skrillex, then known as Sonny. Sorry. But yeah, more post-hardcore, kind of fueled that fire for me. Didn't hit as hard as From Mom to Ashes did for me, but I definitely appreciate this more now than I did when it first came out. But yeah, really fucking good. Solid shit. The back cover always perplexed me and almost made me fuck up when I first got the record because I almost dropped it out because I'm a fucking tool bag. But yeah, from First to Last, Ride the Wings of Pestilence is still the fucking hardest fucking song, I swear. The record I should have got out is this one, because I also discovered this around that same time. This is the double LP version of Poison the Well's Opposite December and Tear from the Red. Tear from the Red? Tear from the Red? No, not really sure which one. But both of these albums were big touchstones for me. Let's see, Opposite December came out in 1999, and Tear from the Red came out in 2001. So I probably got into this probably about the same time I was getting into the next two records I'm going to show you, around 2004, 2005-ish, when I was in my band, Philadelphia Fratricide. We had some Poison the Well influences. Apathy as a Cold Body was definitely something that we listened to a lot, although that's not on these albums. Botchla, Slice Paper Wrist was something we listened to a lot. So many fucking good songs. Lazaro. We definitely listened to Poison the Well a lot. Shout out to Xavier for turning me on to them, and for turning me on to these next two bands that I'm going to talk about. Yeah, Poison the Well, big influence on me. I actually haven't listened to this in a while, so I should probably throw this on too after I listen to Slipknot, because what's not fun about nostalgia? Hope those don't fall. Please don't fall. That's all I fucking need. Alright, like I said, both these records came out in 2004, and these were later discoveries for me. This first one I'm going to show you, Xavier, same homie, he was a drummer for my previous band, Philadelphia Fratricide. Got me into Poison Well, also got me into the Dillinger Escape Plan. He handed me a copy of Miss Machine. I think he may have handed me Under the Running Board first. Maybe. But when he handed me Miss Machine, it changed the fucking game for me. Top 10 album of all time. My favorite Dillinger album. I think most people's favorite Dillinger album to this day. This is a repress from 2015. On a nice mint vinyl. But yeah, this album definitely changed the game for me. Introduced me to mathcore, which led me to bands like Into the Moat and Botch and on and on and on. Burnt by the Sun. It's led me to a lot of new shit that I wasn't aware of at the time. So this was a big game changer for me, and it's one of the bands that's probably stuck with me longer than any of these other ones. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with the Dillinger Escape Plan, and especially not with Miss Machine. So yeah, major shout out to Zay for turning me on to that. He also showed me a song. To this day, I can't remember what song it was, but it was by this band who he followed on MySpace, and I think I did too. This is Yaphet Kotto with "We Bury Our Dead Alive." Yeah, I can't remember exactly what song he showed me, but I fucking loved it, and it really opened my eyes to all the Abolition Records bands. But Yaphet Kotto really struck hard with me, and I fucking love this album. This is the only physical media I own by him, which is a shame because I should own more, and I probably will. I got some in my Discogs wish list that I'll pull the trigger on eventually. But this opened my eyes to real screamo, or scrams as it's called now. Post-hardcore flipped on its ear and thrown more angst into it, and it's fucking gorgeous fucking tunes. And again, bands like this paved the way for me to get into more post-hardcore bands like Touche Amore and on and on and on, to all the way up to probably, fuck, I can't even think now. I've been talking for too long. But yeah, this is definitely a big record for me, and it's something that I love, that I have in my collection. And again, that Zay showed me this band when we were playing music together. We sucked, by the way. Yeah, we were awful. But yeah, just a little peek into my high school playlist. I also listen to bands like Flaw and Prong. Listen a little bit of Pantera, but I never really got into them, and I could give a fuck about them now. They're one of the most overrated bands of all time. Hot Tech Squad. I don't give a fuck about Pantera. But yeah, eventually I got into heavier shit, and a lot of that shit is now on this shelf. And yeah, that's what I listen to. Really fucking good shit. At least to me. I could be fucking crazy and think that, or y'all, I could be crazy and y'all could think I suck. But I'm gonna keep doing what I do, because that's who I am. I'm that dude. And I'm that dude that's gonna get the fuck out of here. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being fucking real. Hit me up with a comment in the comment box thing. Let me know some of the shit you listened to in high school. Did you listen to the same shit I did? Some of you are a bit older than me. What'd you listen to? What are you ashamed of now? I have no shame, and I dig what I dig. Yeah. I'll see y'all in my next video. Probably be a collection update, because I got some shit. Peace out now.